Daniel's still asleep, so I'm gonna keep my voice down. Being a full-time travel family for us isn't because we hit the lottery. We still work full-time jobs. They're just remote. So a day in our life, even though some of our videos look like it's just gallivanting around and exploring, doesn't really look like that. It's more of a mix between the two. And today, that's what we're doing. So we're gonna bring you along for all of it. But first, matcha. People told us when we had a baby that drinking hot tea or coffee was going to be a thing of the past, but we figured out how to make it work. Mine and Dash's mornings start usually around 5:30, 6 o'clock. We shut the curtain in the back and let Daniel sleep a little bit longer, usually till about 7 o'clock. And we just play, get some tummy time in, and Mommy usually reads a book, right? Well, listens to an audible book. Right now I'm reading a book about baby-led weaning, aka letting your baby learn to eat solids on their own, which is pretty interesting. I mean, if you're into that mom kind of thing. And considering Dash is super interested in watching everything we eat and trying to grab it already, 6 months is getting here really fast. Someone is a little bit less of a morning person than I am, so baby Dash usually coaxes him out of bed. Get up, Daddy! Get up, Daddy! It's gonna be a beautiful day!
Ow! Let's see. No. Oh, what? No. I am checking email. If you're not familiar with London Marathon, one of the ways to get in is through the lottery system. So we both submitted an entry, and today you find out if you're in or not. So we shall see as the day progresses.
Are you gonna get up?
Today's not looking good. Maybe tomorrow. I need coffee.
Sometimes getting Daniel out of bed takes a little while.
Daddy needs coffee. Daddy needs coffee. Yeah, go coffee. Go coffee.
While Dee is getting out of bed, Dash and I will fill you in on the game plan for today. So it's a Monday, which is one of our favorite days to adventure because it means way fewer crowds. That being said, somebody's got to pay the bills. So we're going to work in the morning, and then we're going to catch a bus and head and check out Washington, D.C. Our mornings are a lot slower around here than they used to be. Lammy is his favorite toy. Now that Dee has had his coffee, I'll leave the baby with him for a minute and grab a quick shower. If you've ever spent much time in an RV, it means that I likely need to dump the gray water tank. Our gray water tank, when we're actually on full hookups and not caring about water conservation, I don't know, Dee, what do you think? Maybe it lasts a day or two?
It depends on dish load.
Yeah.
If there's a lot of dishes, it goes pretty quickly. And if you take a shower, it pretty much fills up instantly.
That's not true. But let's check it. So I'm just gonna scan it here. Alright, yep. Since it's at like 49%, I'm just gonna go dump the ducks. Thankfully, it's not even that cold outside. pretty fall colors. We're loving this. All right, super simple. Ta-da! So that's just our dishwasher and shower water, so not that gross. And doesn't take very long either. It's a win, but definitely different than living in a sticks and bricks. Time for a diaper change?
Time for diapers.
That took like maybe 3 minutes. Not hard.
I'm going to show you sign language. Ready? Mommy. Mommy. Daddy. Mommy. Daddy. Mama. Not the mama. Mama is numero uno, right? Mama is numero uno. And daddy is like somewhere down on the totem pole. Because there's a lot of other people that are higher up in the totem pole, right? Like grandma and Gigi, like they're way up there with mommy. And then like daddy is like way down at the bottom, right?
Only 7.8%. I did pretty good, considering Daniel said I used the entire tank for a shower.
So every morning I get up and I'm typically half asleep when I'm making my coffee. I always add turmeric and cinnamon, except for this one time. Let me show you first how we keep our spices stored. This is how we store our spices. They're all individually labeled, and when we travel the world in 2 suitcases, back then at least I love to cook, so it was always important for me to bring spices.
Did you ever use them while you're traveling internationally?
No, not so much, but that's okay. They were there.
We use them now.
We use them now. Yeah, we use them now all the time, right? One time I went to grab the cinnamon and accidentally put cayenne in my coffee. Needless to say, I didn't realize it until the coffee was a bit spicy. Now, the average person probably would have tossed that coffee, but that's not me. I continued to drink the coffee, but it did get spicy towards the end to where I couldn't drink it anymore, and then had to make another coffee, which, it's not the worst thing in the world. But just saying, if you're like me and you use cinnamon, make sure you don't accidentally put some cayenne in your coffee, because it is muy caliente. It's hot.
Is that a funny story? It's time for us to get started with work, or at least me. I'm more of a work morning person. Daniel's more of an afternoon/evening work kind of person. So I schedule all my meetings in the morning. That makes it really easy for us to make sure that our meetings don't overlap. Thankfully, my first meeting, which is at 9:30 this morning, is just with our internal team, which brings a good point. What do we do for work? We actually own a communications firm. We work with private equity firms to help them build value in the brands that they acquire so that they can sell them. I guess in layman's terms, that means we do branding and websites, social media, marketing for recruitment purposes, etc. Which is perfect because we can do it all digitally. So meeting with the team this morning, they are used to my mom life look. I'd like to blame that on mom life. I'm not really sure if that's true. Maybe I can blame that on pandemic? Stand up for the meeting. Dash, mommy's camera needs a little bit of cleaning up. Let's see. Much better.
To the final deliverable.
One of the really cool things about the park we're staying at this week, called Cherry Hill Park, is that they have a bus stop at the very front with time schedules that go into DC. Apparently there's an app. We have this timesheet of the departure times from the park, but there's also an app I'm going to download and see if that will probably be a little bit easier than carrying this piece of paper anyways. So we'll just check it out.
All right. So now that we have had a couple hours of work meetings and getting work stuff done, we're going to go explore. And that means we got to walk to the bus station, which is at the campground, and that's pretty cool.
If you're looking at some bouncy footage, it's because we're not running, scooting. We're scooting to the bus stop because in typical Fernandez fashion, we are running out of time here.
We got 5 minutes before the bus gets here.
Yeah, before it pulls away. The good thing is that if we miss it, there's another one coming 45 minutes later, so not the end of the world.
But that's 45 minutes of lost fun.
Had we been better planners, though, we would be waiting for the bus right now instead of running. But that's okay. That's not how we roll.
No, it's not planning. It's the fact that we had to finish getting our work done for the day.
Yeah.
Or somewhere in between.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that.
The bus actually doesn't go downtown. But the good news is it does go to the Metro, which goes to the National Mall, which is our game plan. So, bus, now subway. So when we're using public transport, we are typically using good old Google Maps. That's exactly what I'm going to do to find out what stop we need to go to. Sometimes when we go on adventures, we have a serious plan. Today is not one of those days. We're basically just walking around, getting to explore, Googling and finding a coffee shop. But figured if we're in Washington, D.C., of course we have to check out the White House. Daniel or I have been to Washington, D.C. since we were kids. And probably the one thing that's the most shocking is how small everything looks now. Truth. I feel like the White House was like triple this size when I was 8.
Here we are at yet another epic location. As you can see, Baby Dash is really enjoying the scenery here. He's like that college drunk friend that would pass out on the couch when all of the epic stuff was happening. I'm not saying I had some of those friends, but you know what I'm talking about. So this is my first time ever seeing the reflection pool, and I knew it was shallow, but I didn't realize how shallow it was. I mean, honestly, it's only this deep, at least at this point in the reflection pool. So a little bit dirtier than expected. Oh, somebody's awake.
Okay, all jokes aside though, visiting Washington, D.C. in an afternoon is definitely not enough time to actually do this right. So we were just talking about it, we know we took the bus and the subway to get here, but with a baby, we don't really want to do that at night. So we double checked. Uber XL here actually has Ubers with car seats, which is awesome. So we're gonna go that route so we can stay a little bit longer and continue exploring.
So unfortunately, the elevators are out of order, which, not great. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. But I don't feel like being a daddy Sherpa and hiking with this entire stroller system up to the top of these steps. So I'm gonna let Mommy Sherpa go check it out.
The Lincoln Memorial is my favorite landmark here, as it's such a beautiful symbol of freedom. But after an exciting day of exploring Washington, D.C., we grabbed dinner and headed back to the Airstream, because tomorrow we're hitting the road to head down south to find warmer weather, which is kind of a requirement for RV life. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, we'd love to have you join our YouTube family. But until next week, my friend, make sure to wander local this week. Trust me, it's good for the soul.